Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Loyd. I'm a physical therapist, and I'd love to tell you a little bit about what physical therapy does. Welcome to Bryn Mawr Sports Rehab. This is where I work. This is part of my clinic. Before you go in, mask up. Safety first. All right, come on. Don't be shy. This is the waiting area where you would sign in and then wait for the therapist to call you back, which happens in here all the time. And while we're walking in, I want to tell you a little bit about what physical therapy is. Physical therapy, 2 words. Physical. First word, physical, it just means it's something physically being done versus something else, emotional or I don't know, anything else. It's physical. The other word is therapy. Come on in. Therapy, we use a therapy when we aren't where we're supposed to be. Like something's not right. There's different types of therapy out there. The therapy we do is when someone gets injured or something's not working right from their body's perspective. We're trying to get it better. All right, now that you're in here, let me just show you around real quick. What you'll see back here is it looks like a lot of gym equipment, right? A lot of gym equipment because what we do is we work out a lot just to help people's strength get back. In your family, has your car ever broken down? Yeah, right? Your car breaks down, and if a car breaks down, you don't just change the tires. You don't just change the windshield wipers. You take it to the mechanic and they figure out, hey, why'd the car break down? And that's what we're doing here. Why did your shoulders not work right? Why is your knee not working right? And that's what we do. We do a big part in figuring out why that's happening. Come on in a little more. Well, look here. Hannah Loyd is here. She's going to pretend to be my patient. Well, with therapy, come on in. What I would do, go ahead and sit back here, please. Depending on what we were working on, we might look at someone's foot and ankle and do some work here. Might work on their knee, might work on their shoulder or head and neck, depending on what was wrong. Why don't you have a seat while we continue this discussion? So, let me tell you a little bit more about what physical therapy does. Something's wrong. And these are actual scenarios that occurred from people in the school district. Someone's playing on the blacktop, slips, falls back on their arm and breaks their arm. Their arm's not working right. They need surgery to get it fixed, get back in place, but we, from a PT standpoint, physical therapy, want to make sure the kid is able to use their elbow in the full range of motion to get back to what they want to do, whether it's playing basketball or playing soccer. Another scenario would be anybody growing a lot these days? Are you getting taller? You are? All right. Well, what happens a lot of times with our bodies as we get taller, it's our leg bones that grow a lot. And when the leg bones get longer, the muscles and tendons don't necessarily grow either. Think of them as like a rubber band. So when the bone gets longer, the band actually gets stretched tighter. And if someone's growing several inches over a summer or winter or pandemic, those tendons get tighter and it can change the mechanics of how the knee works. It can cause different kind of pains in joints, and it can limit how active someone can be. So from a PT perspective, we try to figure out what's limiting it, help that kid get the strength and flexibility back to get back to their sport, dance, or whatever it is they might be wanting to do. In this facility, what I do is I really work a lot on orthopedics. That means like neck injury, shoulder injury, those kinds of things, or when something's not working right. The whole field of physical therapy, the scope of it, meaning how broad it is, goes much beyond this. This is called outpatient physical therapy, meaning that someone came into the clinic to work with me. There's other things like hospital. Sometimes someone goes into the hospital. In the hospital, they need some help to learn how to walk for whatever reason, whether they have a major knee surgery or honestly they get COVID and it's really bad and they need help to be able to walk around. Physical therapy does that. There's also the next level, so hospital, then the next level would be there's rehab hospitals where if someone had something serious happen to them, like a stroke or maybe a spinal cord accident or a really bad car accident, they might need to go to a rehab hospital where they would just go to the hospital to get their strength back and mobility back. Really key that the therapist is there to help them work for several hours a day to make sure they're gaining their strength and learn how to walk again. After that, there's also a home care where if someone is at home and they're sick and it's really difficult for them to get out, then they would come to their person's home and work with them. So there's all kinds of different therapies out there beyond what we do here, but let me just show you what it might look like. You saw we might start with some work on a person. Come on, go ahead and stand up. So we might, if it was Hannah's ankle we were working on, thank you so much. I might do some things to stretch her ankle. Just let it go. Good job. Doing some mobilization, make sure it's moving right and pointing right. And then once that's good, we might do some exercise, all right? Exercises like band exercises. Oops. You can put it around her foot and do different exercises to gain strength back. So I might as well show you. Sorry, I got my boots on. Went for a little hike earlier. Some different band kind of exercises. How are we with time there, Jules? But some band exercises can be used for all kinds of things, whether it's your foot and ankle, or say you were hurting your shoulder and you want to do some stuff like this to get the strength back in the rotator cuff. To weight exercises. Oh, I might hurt myself with 3 pounds. Hopefully not. Or more fun stuff, like where we learn to balance and throw things. So we have a weight here. This is one of my favorites. Tossing and catching is a great exercise just to help the shoulder stability. But standing on one foot and doing it can help with balance and learning how to use your ankle again. All kinds of fun stuff we do in here for therapy just to help people make sure they do everything they want to do. Pause for a second. If a leg isn't quite strong enough, this is a great exercise to gain strength in your leg press. So up here, pushing the weight stack up and down, you do both legs, or if we really were working on one leg in particular, we would do one leg, oh, it's pretty hard, and back down to gain strength in various muscles. A big important part of the physical therapist is to know the joints really well and all the muscles really well. Oh wait, you ask, what does it take to become a physical therapist? That's a great question. School. So part of the physical therapist is critical. A really important thing to know is knowing the body, knowing every muscle, every bone, what the bones look like, how the joints move, and how the joints are moving together with one another, as well as the nervous system, meaning like the nerves, as well as circulation. So it takes a bit of education. What you'd have to do now is go to college for 4 years, and during that time take some prerequisite courses, meaning you have to take a bunch of the science courses, the biologies, the chemistries, anatomies and such, and then go to PT school, which is 3 years. PT school is a doctoral level degree. It's a 3 years after you get your bachelor's degree, 3 years full time. Once you graduate from that, you take a licensing exam and you get certified and you become a physical therapist. Highly recommend this field. It's really great. We get to work with people to help them get back to where they want to do, whether it's soccer, ballet, tennis, skiing, all the above, even just playing with their kids. Seriously, things we work on every day in here. All right, come on over here. So how do you know when we're done with therapy? Great question. When someone's achieved their goals, then they can graduate from therapy. Just like when you finish all your school goals, you graduate from school. When an athlete comes in, say a soccer player wants to come back in, they injured their knee, they needed surgery. How do we know when they're ready to go back to play safely? Well, this is part of it. We would do a test on this machine to see how strong they are pulling and pushing their leg, comparing quad muscles and hamstring muscles to see how strong they are compared to the other side. And we want to make sure that the strength is there. The readouts here tell us exactly how much power they're generating. All right, come on this way. Another thing that's important is not only strength is important, but ability to do things is really important. So for instance, can they jump? Can they jump on one foot? So we would do a test like a 1 foot long distance test where they're on 1 foot and hold it. Then try and compare it to the other side. And see if they're matching. And then things like a crossover and seeing if it's similar to the other side. So a lot goes into therapy to make sure people are safe to get back to their sports. All right, concluding remarks. Therapy. If you're interested in science, consider physical therapy, especially if you're interested in the medical sciences, like anatomy and biology. Not only do you need to be interested in science, but you have to be interested in people. Part of physical therapy is working with people to help them get back to what they want to do. I love it because it's science, is working with people, and you got to work hard. Like everything out there, we have to work hard at what we do in order to get there. Physical therapy is something we work hard at every day to help people get back from a place where they're injured and unable to do things to where they can do things, and it's a very rewarding career. Highly recommend it. Great for girls and boys. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right, cheers guys. Go